広島県出身アイザックこと山根良太郎さんによりますイスラエルと日本です。山根さん、よろしくお願いいたします。
皆さんこんにちは。広島県広島市から来ましたアイザックこと山根良太郎です。僕は昨年の10月にイスラエルに行ってきました。そこで僕は日本の中からでは気がつくことのできない日本のたくさんの良さやありがたさについて気がつくことができました。今日は僕がイスラエルに行ったからこそ気がつくことのできた日本の良さ、そしてありがたさをお話ししたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。Everyone, what kind of image do you have of Israel? For public security, conflict all the time? Only know the name? I guess. However, when I went there, I went out by myself at night safely. Agriculture and science technology in the daily lives developed more than in Japan. In this Israel trip, I experienced a lot of cultural differences and different angles of point of view. For example, one Israeli asked me, "Is Japan safe?" I answered, "Of course yes," immediately. Then he said, "The parents kill their own child. Children kill their own parents, and people take their own life. These sorts of things happened in Japan. Is it really a safe country?" Israel based on Judaism, so suicide is forbidden in their culture, and it is the most mortal sin. The high suicide rate is one of the Japanese social issues, but I have never felt it before. His opinion was so shocking for me, and his way of thinking for Japan made me sad at the same time. I felt that questions from different countries and cultures make me realize unexpected things. As Israel said, Japan looks like existing for a long time. But how long has it been from the founding? Everyone, do you know when Japan was founded? Actually, Japan was founded by Emperor Jin on February 11th, 2683 years ago. Our country is the oldest country in the world. However, almost no Japanese know about it. During this trip, one Israeli said to me, "My grandmother was saved by Japanese. Thank you so much." That Japanese was Lieutenant General Higuchi Kiichiro. In 1938, the border between Montreal and the Soviet Union was overflowing with Jewish people who couldn't enter Montreal. At that time, Japan and Nazis were allied, so it wouldn't allow Jewish people on the train. When the Lieutenant General Higuchi heard about what happened at the border, he led 13 special trains around and took Jewish people to the station of Harbin. According to one theory, more than 20,000 people were saved. It is not a famous story in Japan, but is described as oddball incident. Helping Jewish is the same as losing Higuchi's own life. However, he said both Japan and Montreal are not daughter nations of Nazis. We don't need to get along with their atrocious state policy. Later, Nazis officially protested the Japanese government. In spite of that, this incident was the start of Japan helps Jewish people. I think you may imagine Sugihara Chiune is the first Japanese person who helps Jewish people. But actually, the Otpo incident was 2 years before the life-saving visas by Sugihara Chiune. In iBS, there's the words, 自国を知らずして国際人を名乗るなかれ. Without knowing your own country, you can't say cosmopolitan. I think knowing our own country is not only learning history from the textbooks, but also we should know how our ancestors have been existing in Japan for such a long time, how to make relationship with other countries. Then we should experience different countries, different cultures with that knowledge and see Japan from different angles. 皆さんも日本の中からでは気がつくことのできない日本の良さ、そしてありがたさを知るためにも外側から見た日本を知り感じてみたいと思いませんか？ Thank you for listening.
ありがとうございました。アンディ先生、コメントお願いします。
Isaac, thank you for a really interesting speech. Of course, for Westerners, we have very different ideas about Israel, especially in recent times, right? But we also have to remember that people are different from governments. The way that a government treats another country doesn't necessarily reflect how the people do, right? And your stories about the Otoboro incident and so on really illustrate that, where you have two people who are supposed to be enemies, but helping you anyways, right? The other point to think about is, where you were comparing Judaism to Japan with ideas of murder and suicide. Japan is a very high-stress nation where these things happen. And we have a way, well, people think they have a way out. If they would maybe look at different options, then great. Finally, you talked about understanding about Japan. And, I left Canada when I was 20 years old. And I realized, growing up, I didn't understand Canada. You never understand your own country until you've been outside and seen it from a different view. So good on you for doing that, Isaac. You've been wonderful. Good job today.
Thank you.
学院長、コメントお願いします。
日本人は日本人のことを知らないっていうのは本当にそうかもしれないですよね。例えば杉原さんの場合は教科書に載ったりしてるんで知ってるけど、東少々中女ごめん、樋口中女少女中女のことを知らないですもんね、みんなね。だからそれが満州のこともほとんど知らないし、でだからそういうものを君15だっけ16だっけ
16です。
16ね。16歳の君がすごいですよね。やっぱり40、50の大人たちにちゃんとしっかりしろよというようなメッセージですもんね、これね。偉そうなこと言うなって俺の方が知ってるわというような顔には見えませんけど、なんかそういうテレパシーがこう見えましたけれども、やっぱりね、外に出ないと見えないんですね。で、なんでユダヤ人がローマ人ですら、ものすごくもうほぼ世界を征服するのはローマ人ですら、その前のギリシャ人ですら、もうみんな死に絶えたのに、なんでその前に生きてたユダヤ人がいまだに生きてるんだろうということが君の頭に絶対あったと思うんですね。そのユダヤ人がこんなに生き延びてることと日本人が生き延びてることとなんかつながりがあるんじゃないかという思いを持っていったと思うんですよ。そしたら両方少し見え始めたんですね。だから20歳になった頃はおそらくいろんなことがもっともっと見えると思うんですよ。すごい楽しみになりましたね。なんか君がアインシュタインに見えてきました。ありがとうございます。
りがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。